Let's make a blood drip snow globe cup. The things you'll need are an empty snow globe cup, mineral oil, vegetable glycerin, isopropyl alcohol, gloves, UV resin, cotton balls, a small container for the mixture, popsicle stick or stir stick, a small measuring cup, red and black alcohol ink, a small funnel, rubber bottom for the cup, UV light. I'm using my nail lamp, paper towels, lab squeeze bottle, a weeding tool, and syringe. The first thing we're going to do is take the plastic cap out of our snow globe cup. So just remove the lid, take that out. This is what we use to plug up the bottom after we put the mixture in. This is the hole that we're going to be pouring the mixture in. So for now, we're going to go ahead and set our cup aside and put on our gloves because with the alcohol ink, it can stain your fingers. So we want to make sure that our hands and fingers are protected. To make the blood mixture, we are going to take 45 milliliters of vegetable glycerin and pour it in our small plastic measuring cup. These plastic measuring cups that I got off Amazon are only 30 milliliters, so I have to do 30 milliliters and pour it in my container. Then I use my popsicle stick to get out the majority of the vegetable glycerin, and then I go back and put another 15 milliliters to make the 45. I would also advise that you either protect your area or work on a non-porous area when doing this project because spills can happen and you want to make sure that you can easily wipe it up. Now I'm going to take my red alcohol ink that I bought off Temu and I'm going to apply 25 drops of red alcohol ink into the vegetable glycerin. You can add more or less if you want to. This is just the number of drops that I found that works for me. Now I'm going to take my black alcohol ink that I also got from Temu and I am only going to apply 3 drops because the black is super pigmented and I found that 3 drops was good enough for me. Now go ahead and make sure that you stir it up really well. This is what it looks like after mixing it up. If you want a deeper red, then you can go ahead and add more black alcohol ink. You just need to play with your alcohol ink so that you can figure out the color that works for you. Now I'm taking my little funnel and I'm just going to pour my mixture into the hole of this snow globe tumbler. I'm just pouring in a little bit at a time, and you want to make sure that the bottom of the funnel is not touching the bottom of the snow globe on the inside because you want to make sure that it can flow out as freely as possible. So now I'm just moving that mixture around, just getting that mixture to flow down the sides of the cup. And I am just pouring in a little bit at a time, making sure that my funnel is not touching the bottom so that it can free flow down the sides. You'll continue this process until all the blood mixture is in the cup. By the end of it all, your blood mixture should be about 1/3 of the entire snow globe. So I'm just pouring in that last little bit of the blood mixture. Now you want to take your popsicle stick or stir stick and you want to go ahead and scoop out the rest of that blood mixture because a lot can be left in there after just pouring it. I place a small container that I mix the blood mixture in on a paper towel, and now I am removing my funnel and placing it on that same paper towel, just trying to keep all of my mess contained. Now I'm taking my lab squeeze bottle with mineral oil in it and I am just going to top that off. These squeeze bottles are 250 milliliters. I purchased a pack of 12 off Amazon because I also make glitter snow globe tumblers. I also noticed that sometimes when I'm twisting my top back on, some of the product will squeeze out of the top of the spout. So you want to make sure that you have some protection down on your workspace area, and also do not squeeze the side of the bottle when you're twisting the top on. Now I'm placing the nozzle in the hole of the snow globe cup and I am just squeezing that mineral oil into the cup. I'm going to go ahead and fill this up all the way to the top. When you're squeezing the mixture in, you want to make sure that you're going nice and steady because you do not want to have a lot of air bubbles in there by the time you reach the top. Now that this is filled up pretty much to the top, I'm going to put my plastic stopper in just to check it out and see how fast it flows. When I flipped it over and looked at it, I realized that it flowed a little bit faster than I would have liked. So I decided that I was going to go ahead and add some more mineral oil. This is all your preference. So if you like the flow of this, then you can keep it just as is. But for me, I wanted a little bit of a slower flow. When you flip the cup over, you can see that at the bottom, we have a lot more room to add some more product. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Cricut weeding tool and remove the plastic plug. You can take a safety pin or even your finger to remove it. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill that up with some more mineral oil. Right here, you can see that I'm using my small syringe to add more mineral oil into that air bubble. I like how this syringe has a bent nozzle head. It really allows me to get into that air bubble and get that product in there. You can also see that the air bubble will run away from you. Sometimes when filling up the cup with mineral oil, you will overfill, and that's fine. You can just take your syringe and you can just suck that mineral oil back up into the syringe. Now I'm just wiping off the excess mineral oil and then I'm replacing my plastic stop so that I can go ahead and check out the flow of the cup again. As you can see, when you flip the cup over, the flow is a lot slower than it was before. You'll see that the red at the top is staying suspended a little bit longer than it was before, which is exactly what I was looking for. Look at how that blood is just slowly dripping down the sides of the snow globe. How cool is this cup? I just love this cup. Now I am taking my alcohol and I am applying it to a paper towel and I am going to clean the bottom of the cup off before I apply the UV resin. UV resin will not stick to oil. So you have to make sure that your cup is cleaned off and free of all the mineral oil in order for your UV resin to adhere to the cup. Quick side note, I've had customers request other colors other than red inside the snow globe, and that is absolutely possible. All you have to do is take your alcohol ink, whichever color you want. I did a lime green one, and you just mix it in with the vegetable glycerin to create the desired color you want, and you just follow this same process. When cleaning this oil off, sometimes I get a little crazy and I will just pour alcohol directly on the bottom to make sure that I get all that oil off. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my UV resin and apply it to the bottom of the cup around the plastic stop. You do not need a lot of UV resin because you want to make sure that when you turn your cup back over, that it does not rock. If you applied too much UV resin, then it will be lifted up above the outside rim of the bottom of the cup and will cause the cup to be uneven. I start off by curing the resin for 90 seconds. I place my nail lamp on two cup boxes because it's the perfect height. After 90 seconds, I touch the resin to make sure that it's not tacky. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. If it is, then I'll place it under the UV lamp for 90 more seconds, which is what I did here. This is what the bottom of the cup looks like after the resin has been cured. Now I am going to take a rubber bottom for my cup and place it on the center of the bottom of the cup. I like using these rubber bottoms because it covers the plastic stop and resin that we did, making it look more aesthetically pleasing. Not only that, but it acts as a protective anti-slip rubber bottom. So your cup is not going to be sliding across the table. Additionally, I found that if you accidentally use a little too much resin on the bottom, the rubber bottom does help make the cup a little bit more sturdy when it's standing upright. When packaging this for customers, I like to package it upside down so when the customer takes the cup out of the packaging, the blood drip is in full effect. Go get your blood cup today at tmcustomgifts.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.